Hello, welcome to Here's My Garden, the hopefully inspirational gardening channel where I'm just trying to urge people to grow their own food. I had somebody actually request a video on composting, so Ashley, this is for you. Thanks for the request. I was planning on doing a video on this anyway, but if you've got the space, doing your own compost, it's a good way to go. So if you like my videos, please like and subscribe. Tell your friends about me. Share my videos. If you don't like them, not all that interested, that's fine. I'm not for everybody. So, composting, yeah, it's a wonderful way to go. I had a friend, very close friend, you're going to meet him on this channel eventually. He has been a big inspiration for me gardening. And I was doing my gardening and I was using liquid fertilizer. And that's pretty much what I used. Just whatever soil I had, and I would fertilize according to the directions. I'm not going to name any brand names. There's plenty out there. This blue, powdery, crystal-y stuff you mix with your water. Yeah, it works. It grows some very big results. And he told me, why are you feeding your plants? I said, well, huh? Why am I feeding my plants? He's like, yeah, that's not your job. What you need to do is feed the soil. Let the soil feed the plants. That's organics. That's organic gardening. I'm not going to sit here and lecture about doing everything organically. I don't do that. I'm mostly organic, but I do use some liquid fertilizer to help me along the way. We'll get into that. But yeah, so feed the soil. Never really thought about it until he had mentioned this. And now over the years, I've tried multiple ways. I've done just using liquid fertilizer. That's how I started out. And then he talked me into the organic way. So I went 100% organic. And the results were, I would say, drastic. I got bigger fruits and vegetables. Keep saying fruits. I'm sorry, I call tomatoes and cucumbers fruits. You know what I mean. I don't actually have any fruit. But, so with the organics, with the fertilizer, everything got real big. It's very lush and green. It was good. So then I go organic, and everything was not quite so big. Still lush and green, everything was healthy, but the plants seemed to be a bit smaller, and it wasn't as maybe abundant at first, but I did notice that the flavor was better. You get a stronger flavor. My take on this is, with liquid fertilizers, you're pushing nature, forcing nature. You're not allowing the fruits to naturally mature and naturally build the flavor they're supposed to be. You're urging it along. So yeah, I think with liquid fertilizers, you don't get as flavorful a food, but you might get more. You might get a bigger abundance, bigger fruits. With organics, I do believe the flavor is better. And now I did a couple of years one way, I did a couple of years another way. So I have done the research myself, and what I've found is actually a bit of a hybrid. So let's get into the composting. Let's get into that. So here's my garden. So if you want to compost, you're going to have an area available where you're okay with rotting stuff just sitting there. Things you do not want to compost: no meat scraps, nothing with oil or any kind of grease or anything like that. but you're making mashed potatoes, you peel your potatoes, you're peeling carrots, stuff like that. The outside edges or leaves of, say, cabbage, lettuce, that stuff you can compost. As far as, you don't want no fish or anything like that, like no animal matter is what they say. I will disagree with that maybe a little bit. I have thrown raw shrimp shells, and you can use egg shells. But you can also use things like untreated cardboard, corrugated cardboard, untreated paper, coffee grounds. If you have a traditional coffee pot, your coffee grounds and the coffee filter itself. I use unbleached coffee filters, the brown ones. Whether that's good, bad, better, worse, I'm not going to judge on that. That's what I use. I just don't think I need bleach in anything that I consume in my body. So, but you're going to need a place to put a pile of rotting vegetation, because that's what compost is. And what I have here is an old trash can that I got from work. It was never used for garbage. It was used to transport materials. It's one of those ones where the garbage truck comes, picks it up. So it's got the hinge top, got wheels on the bottom. And what I do is I didn't know if it was gonna work. Figured I'd give it a shot. I cut out a little flap here in the bottom. And you can see. We've had a lot of rain lately, so it's very wet in here, and I had the lid open. Look at that. It's black gold right there. Black gold right there. Just mud. And that started from yard waste and some scraps from the kitchen. You can put grass in. I would avoid putting any kind of big weeds that might, I'm not sure if the seeds are going to biodegrade all the way. So you don't want any unnecessary weeds coming up in your garden because of the compost that you used. But I've got flowers in the yard that we prune back. The moonflowers go in here, hibiscus goes in here, the butterfly bush flowers that we cut off, they go in here. I said grass. I don't put everything in here. I do have a yard waste pickup. I can't fit all of my yard waste all the time in here, but we'll take a little peek. Oh, if I can get up. I'm not so young anymore. Some flowers. I got some pine needles, so it's definitely worth it. If you're somebody who, like I said, you want to have your organics. I do a hybrid method. I do put a lot of compost into the garden. I buy organic fertilizer that you toil into the soil. But I do use liquid fertilizer a few times a year. Key moments. When the flowers are first coming on, I like to do that and give it a little extra boost. A few times throughout the year, I'll give it a little extra boost. But I try to go mostly organic, and it works, I'm telling you. As like I said, somebody who did a couple of years not really putting anything into the soil, just feeding the plants, I had some good big results. They weren't as tasty. When I went organic, the results weren't as magnificent, but man, the flavor was amazing. So good. And I'm talking about, it's not like I just tried something different. No, it was the same variety of tomatoes, like this, like that. Same variety of peppers, hot peppers. So it's definitely worth it. Composting is the way to go. So you don't have to have a bin like this. I wasn't sure if it was going to work. There's some commercial bins out there you can buy that more or less do the same thing. My father-in-law had one that's where I got the idea and thought, you know what, let me see if this works. But if you just have a spot, you know, behind a shed, back of the yard, you just want to start dumping your grass clippings there, you can do that. You're going to have to turn them over every once in a while. You want to make sure they get air. I said this probably doesn't get as much air as maybe it should, but it's open at the top, it's open at the bottom. So there you go. Definitely try composting. No fecal matter, no actual fecal matter, please. I know you go to the store, you compost the manure. Okay, that's cow poop. They eat grass, so that's organics into poop. Nothing, you know, no dog poop. Certainly no human poop, my gosh. Come on, people. Think about it. So, definitely try composting if you've got the spot. It's worth it. So guys, there you have it. That's my take on compost. Like I said, if you've got the space, do it. It's definitely worth it. If you don't, you know, it is what it is. But I would definitely think about, you know, you got to go. Or years ago, they didn't call it organic. That's what farmers did. They didn't come up with all these chemicals until more recently. You know, it's as time goes on, people want to make things easier. Easy's not always better. Easy's usually not better. Easy is lazy and easy. That's why it's easy. So, you know, back in the day, yeah, you had to fertilize your ground. That's what farmers do. There's no reason why you shouldn't try to do that yourself. And you can do that in pots. Said, I don't have enough compost where I can fill my garden every year. I do have to go out and buy fertilizer, organic fertilizer, which again, you know, organic just means natural. But all of a sudden now it's got to have a fancy label because we got away from that. It hasn't been good for us. It's not good for us. So I'm trying to help everybody get back on the right track. I'm certainly, you know, I'm no saint, but that's the way to go, guys. You got to go more organic. Get into composting. You want to use your liquid fertilizer? Absolutely. I use it on my flowers. Like I said, I try not to use it too much on the food I eat because I think it actually makes it less flavorful. Yeah, the big giant tomato. It tastes like water. You get that at the grocery store. I'm trying to get something sweet, succulent, delicious. That's why I grow vegetables, because I like to eat. We all need to eat, so why not eat well, eat better? So again, composting, it's definitely the way to go. Ashley, thanks again. And please, if you like my videos, like, share, and subscribe. And see you again. Here's my garden.